Good morning or afternoon, wherever you are across this nation. Welcome to Inside ProCents. Our purpose here is to showcase our members, to shed a little light on the values that ProSense is providing to our industry players, and to let you hear that value directly from our members' lips. First, let me quickly introduce the ProSense leadership team. My name is Devin Anderson. I am the president of ProSense, and I will be guiding us along the path throughout this session. I have been a part of this industry for over 32 years, and I'm extremely passionate about the innovative culture woven deeply into our industry, and I love surfing the winds of change that exist on a daily basis. I absolutely love this industry. Now let me introduce you to my partners in crime. First, J.R. Edens, a ProSense partner. Would you like to say a few words, J.R.?
Yeah, thank you so much, Devin. And thank you to the ProSense community. My name is J.R. Edens. I am National Account Manager with Signify. Been in the lighting business for about 21 plus years. I'm excited to see where the industry is going, and especially excited to see where we're going in the ProSense community and with this board member. Thank you so much.
Right on. Thank you, sir. And finally, I'm proud to introduce you to my friend and our CEO, Mr. Matt Russell. Matt?
Appreciate it, Devin. Well, I'm excited about this and the new board. I know we've got Ricky and Fleming coming back, which is greatly appreciated, but with new blood comes new ideas and innovations. So ProSense was found on innovations and bettering our community within the lighting community. So I'm cannot wait to see what each and every one of y'all bring. Thank you.
Right on. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started with this. Here is the format. Each of you will have the opportunity to respond to a few questions. You will have 5 minutes to do so in any way you see fit. Please try to stay within the lines of the questions, as I want to make sure we stay on time and within the time estimates we initially provided. I will first read the questions and then we'll call on you one by one. Please unmute when you are called on and begin. Upon completing your response, say thank you and mute your microphone once again, and I'll move on. Make sense? Right on. Anyway, here are the questions. To start, tell us a little bit about your organization and why you joined ProSense. And then follow with the question of, as an entrepreneur and lighting professional, what value or expertise are you looking to bring as a board member to help ProSense and the other ProSense members succeed and grow in 2022? Okay, let's begin. The first of our 5 board members for 2022, and a returning board member at that, is Mr. Fleming Jensen. He is from Espen Technologies, which is considered to be a seller under our ProSense environment categories. Fleming?
Hi, Devin. Yeah, my name is Fleming Jensen. I've been in the industry for longer than JR even, so I've been around this business quite a long time. Espen is a manufacturer of retrofit LED solutions for the interior, commercial, and industrial space. We are somewhat narrow in our scope in the sense that we stay within these lines. We do not bleed over into new fixtures and a variety of other things that from where we're sitting would be seen as a distraction. So I think we bring a multitude of solutions to the table for the ESCO, the distributor, whoever is involved in retrofitting from legacy type products to LED products. And we joined ProSense kind of from the get-go. I think Matt and I connected very, very early in this game and had a long conversation about what his idea was, what he thought about doing, what he thought ProSense could be. And I personally found that very interesting. And I think as a company, we found that intriguing. And consequently, we are pleased to be part of the initial entree, so to speak, to try to take this forward and try to bring it to the vision that Mark and I talked about, Matt and I talked about rather back when he first put this out on the table. And I think we're getting there slowly. things like this take time. Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say, and neither is ProSense. So it's interesting to see the members that are now joining. As such, I think we can not to all the membership of ProSense. There's a wide variety of members in the ProSense group today. And there may be some of those members with whom, maybe we can't bring a whole lot of value, but to a lot of the ProSense members, I think we can bring value in the sense of helping them understand the market that we're in and how they can better participate in that market and capture a bigger share of that market. And working together as partners in the partnership, I think we can all benefit from from the relationships that we build. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Right on. Thank you, Fleming. Appreciate that. I've known Fleming for a long time as well, so it's always good to be able to work with people that we've networked with along the way and that we've always considered friends. So that's part of what ProSense is all about. Our second of 5 board members for 2022, also a returning board member, is Mr. Ricky Aris of Energy Lighting Services and Noble Conservation Solutions. Both are considered to be under the category of buyer within ProSense. Ricky, you're on.
Great, thank you, Devin. Yeah, like Fleming said too, I've been with ProSense since near the beginning and immediately saw the value of this organization, of just getting a group together of buyers and sellers, and really just communication is such a high value for us. I come from Energy Lighting Services. So originally we were called Future Vision Energy. I've been with the company for about 9 years. It's been in existence for almost 12 now. Recently, over the past year, we've merged with a company called Noble Conservation Solutions, which is up in Minneapolis, Energy Lighting Services down in the Nashville area. So, we do very large scale commercial LED retrofit projects and have been doing so since we started. And, we specialize early on was in the healthcare industry as well as retail. We've done a lot of we've done a lot of parking lots more recently. We've done a bunch of warehouses, 1 million square foot plus distribution centers. And just in the past couple of years, we started an electrical contracting division as well. That's something that our Noble partner has done for longer than us. But I think we have a really interesting perspective in the industry that we can bring to the board to really, we've worked with over probably 20 different LED manufacturers over the years. We've seen what works, what doesn't work. And just an organization like this really shows its value by just, hey, what are people wanting in the market these days? Because that's always changing, especially with LED becoming more and more commoditized. What are ways we can bring value to each other that we can, from our perspective, get more business from our customers, and from sellers' perspective, get obviously more orders. So I think ProSense is just with this most recent restart I think we're on the right track. I think gaining more attention in the marketplace, trying to help each other succeed as best we can. I think each of us have a different aspect we can bring to make this thing really succeed.
Right on. Thank you again, sir.
Sure.
Our third of 5 board members for 2022, a new board member, Mr. Bill Fricker of LED Advisors, also considered to be a buyer within the ProSense environment. Bill?
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate the opportunity to work with you. My company is basically an ESCO. We work with, I call medium to large size projects. One of the biggest things I do is I partner with a lot of commercial electrical contractors that we partner on projects. And that has worked out very well for me in the larger markets, because a lot of the electrical contractors are basically know how to install the lights, but they're not experts at lighting. I've been in the industry for about 10 years. I've owned multiple companies and decided to get out of that. I've been in a lot of electronics industry for quite a while. I used to own a pretty good size home electronics company. I was a big LG and all that. LG pioneered that in all the high-end home audio and car audio industry. So I come from a kind of a technical background, and I saw LED lighting as a new innovative way to get involved with an industry early on in its infancy. So I started this company, and we've been growing ever since. The reason why I joined ProSense is Devin was very creative and sold me on a good package. I thought was that could make myself a little bit more competitive in the industry. I currently have some pretty good sizable lines and manufacturers that I already work with on a direct basis, which Devin and I discussed, and he brought some unique perspective and unique product lines that interest me. And I says, you know, it looks like something I like to be involved with. And so that's the reason why I joined the ProSense group. I think I can bring a lot of innovation, some knowledge. When I did some other companies, I went to work for a small niche manufacturer and learned the LED industry from the inside out. Did pretty well with them. Started off as just as a sales rep, ended up being top 3 in their company in about 3 years, and was one of their top producers as well. So I think that with that kind of background and my involvement, I always try to keep on the cutting edge of looking at products and where the industry is going and things in that aspects. And I like to see this group do the same thing.
Right on. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And definitely love having you in the group. Our 4th of 5 board members for 2022 is also a new board member, Mr. Jim Oxley of Civ LED, also considered to be a buyer within the ProSense environment. Jim, you're on.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm excited to be part of this group. Devin and I have known each other off and on for the last several years. I'm an infant in this business. Everybody has 20 or 30 years experience, it sounds like. I've got about 8. Second career for me. Previous to this, I was at C-level management for a large financial services firm. But I'm excited about what Devin's bringing to us as far as competitive deals, competitive pricing, brings in a lot more people. So it's very exciting to have that avenue in front of us. CIV LED does only commercial projects. We don't do any residential, and we do all turnkey projects. We go from start to finish, help them with the rebates and so on. I think the thing that I can bring to the group is more from my past experience is building relationships. I think that the business is awfully commoditized sometimes, and I think that hurts the people's perception of our industry sometimes. I always say that there's 3 levels of relationships. You have customers that want to buy the cheapest and the quickest. Then you have clients that want to buy some relationship, but then you have advocates. So, I mean, what I am good at is developing relationships where I have advocates that are willing to step up and help me network with other people and introduce other people to lighting. I think that most business people don't take a step back from lighting. They just, as long as they go in and flick the switch in the mornings, they're okay with it until they really understand what they could be saving. So I hope they'll bring a lot of sales ideas, a lot of sales training, management. I have a previous experience as well as my 8 or 9 years in this business.
Right on. Thank you, sir. Very much appreciated. Finally, to complete the circuit, our 5th and final board member, also new this year, and one of our only distributors within the environment, Mr. John Alba of National Efficiency Supply. John, you're on.
Hey, everyone. Thank you, Devin. Yeah, I guess really what kind of, well, I guess start with a little bit about the company, right? So I have about 30 years in the business and started National Efficiency Supply about 9 years ago. Started as a stock and flow distributor in a time that really people were thinking that stock and flow distributors were going in the way of the dinosaur. And we really have come at it from a sense of trying to add value and service to kind of wrap it around the products that we sell, trying to stop that commoditization of those products. Mm-hmm. And we've developed a good size company that's got offices in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New York, and California, have been focused specifically on the energy world. We have probably 50% of our revenue that comes in through ESCOs and 50% that come in through end users or electrical contractors. But even the half that's not coming through ESCOs, there's still energy projects that are driving those material sales. And just recently, over the course of the last 6 to 9 months, we've started to try to expand out. We historically were a straight lighting company, lighting and controls. And due to primarily some of the shifts in the utility markets and the utility programs, along with some of the state and local legislature in the areas within which we work, we've kind of started a soft rebranding, which will kind of complete more comprehensively over the next 4 to 6 weeks, but really getting away from being a lighting distributor and going to brand ourselves as a retrofit distributor with 3 distinct divisions of lighting being served with all lighting and controls. And then we're going to have an EV retro division, which will have the electric vehicle charging stations. And then finally, we have a heat retro division, which will be selling mini splits. So the EV charging is the first up, and by the end of the quarter, that'll be fully live. We've got material starting to come into stock now and starting to put together a more formal sales effort on that. Heat retro will probably launch, I would say, end of the second quarter, but I could also see that rolling into the beginning of the third quarter. And we look at those 3 pillars as really the foundation on which we'll go into the next 10 years. I think the stuff that's changing in the marketplace is they're all items that are going to stick. Utility companies that are putting these beneficial electrification programs into place and making this kind of shift away from just energy efficiency into decarbonization, they're just starting this. And I think it's going to have as big of a wave as lighting has over the last 30 years. So that's kind of where we've been and where we're going. As far as myself and the board, I came on as a member really through some just really enjoyable conversations that Devin and I had. I got to know Devin more over some phone calls and just really saw the innovative way he was looking at the market and what they're trying to accomplish at ProSense. And I'll be honest, I kind of walked in a little bit apprehensively because I don't know, and I still don't know really how well the distributor fits into this environment. But I do think that it's a good environment, and I am happy to be on the board. And I feel like there's so much business out there in what we're doing that if this environment creates business for NES, that's great, but there's enough for all of it to go around for everyone. So if I can be part of, an advisory position or to help ProSense be successful, regardless of how much the distributor plays a role in this environment, I want to do that. And I think I have a good solid energy background that I can bring to the table, and I have a good solid business background. I've built most of the systems that we run at NES from scratch to fit our business model. So when it comes to ERP integration, field and office systems matching and speaking together through APIs, I've done a lot of that. And I feel like as ProSense grows, there's going to be some insight that I have there that'll be valuable for ProSense. It's awesome to see you guys starting to have revenue flowing. All of a sudden that revenue is going to get bigger and bigger, and you're going to need to figure out the ways to best manage that and to account for all of that. All the things I didn't think about 10 years ago before I started this. And now I realize they are important components, and you got to really kind of nail those down. So I'm just happy to be part of something that's a little bit different in the whole energy world, and looking to help make it a success. Thank you.
That's awesome, John. Thank you so much. And he brings up a really good point as to where the distributor fits within ProSense. So we discussed that at length. I mean, this industry has a wide variety of channels that it supports, and those channels are changing every single day. Not everything runs through distribution, which is why what we do is we do a lot of direct within ProSense. But there are a lot of manufacturers that do not sell direct, and they are specifically distribution based. And we've already seen this become a really positive fit with NES, because those products and those manufacturers that when we can't do a direct product for a specific project, we need to work with those manufacturers that are set through distribution. We have a partner, and that means that all of our buyers, anybody who purchases, whether it's horizontally manufacturer to manufacturer, or whether it's a buyer through through distribution, everybody can still maintain and accrue rebates through that process. So it's been a very good fit, and I'm glad to have John and his team within our environment. So thank you very much. It's also, I think, worth noting that what we've done here as Prosense, as we've created a wide variety of product and service categories, that fit a lot of different holes. LED lighting manufacturers, LED controls from basic wireless to wired, IoT commissioning and the product solutions, and access to some of the top IoT solution products in the industry, auditing services, solar solutions, UV and air purification solutions, EV charging, multi-family solutions, GFCI and USB receptacles, surveillance products, recycling services, end user financing, Section 179D and accelerated tax depreciation strategies, and of course, specification and application assistance, which I provide whenever you guys need the direction. So we've done a lot of things here, and I think this is just the beginning. I want to thank everybody for their time here today and for all that they will be providing throughout this year. Matt, before I close it out, would you like to say a few words?
Well, in the second month of 2022, the innovations that we've seen come out and what's DLCs coming, ANSI, even ISO standards and rebates across the country. As we expand each of our own businesses, the better we can have a point of sharing with each other, what rebates are doing, things like that there, it's going to allow us to all be a little bit more successful. Each one of us have something to bring value to someone else, because I love the saying, but people most often leave it off. The last part of it off is a jack of all trades, but a master of none. But it's often better than some is the last part. And with that innovation and perspective that each one of us bring, and the perspective that we will get from inside the environment itself, will hopefully allow us to grow our business, and really leverage the partnerships from within the environment to make us all a bit more profitable in 2022 and the years to come. But with that, I'm looking forward to the innovation. We've already set forth with plans. I will be at the NAMCO convention March 1st through the 3rd down in Lake Buena Vista. We're already planning to be at Light Fair. So we're going to be working out there to grow this. And with your help, 2022 will be our best year yet. And, with Fleming and Ricky that have been here with me since the beginning. And I'm very grateful for y'all's insight and sticking with me. I've taken everything that you've given me to heart. We brought on Devin, and we're seeing change, and hopefully that change is for the positive. Because I'm not going to say I'm perfect, but with the group that we have here, we can certainly overcome any objectives. But thank you all.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. All right. Well, that concludes today's Inside ProCents blog session. So as we part, to all of our current and future members, remember to always turn inward, be active, be responsive, and get yourself and your organization fully connected. ProSense opens doors, and our participants choose their own path together. If you would like to know more about ProSense, let's talk today. Thanks again, and thank you for participating.